All right, we're gonna walk you through on how to do a pre-trip on the Cat 1055. The 655s are gonna be the same thing, just a little bit smaller size. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna come up in here. You're gonna wanna check your oil. So be careful when you're getting up in here that you don't slip and fall. You're gonna lift this hood right here. You're gonna reach right down in here. Come on up, Rob. Don't fall. You're gonna reach right down in here. Here's the oil dipstick. It's gonna be yellow. You're gonna pull this out. All right. We're gonna have a rag or clean it off. Put it back down in the hole. Put it all the way in. Make sure it's all the way in. Pull it back out. You want to check and make sure that it's all the way up to the top. You want to make sure it's not too full. You could also check your tranny fluid. Now when it's cold, you want it right about there. So if it's running, it will be up here where it's hot. So you'll put it back in. Oh. Make sure it's all the way in. Pull it back out. Yep. While you're up in here, you want to just check all your tubes and hoses, make sure everything's good. Check your electrical fittings, make sure everything's in there tight. Look down at your exhaust and the turbo. Make sure you don't see nothing leaking real bad or any cracks anywheres. You could see over here your hydraulic lines, check all that out. Going up to your fan. Then you want to check on this side. Check all your belts. Make sure everything's good and secure. All right, that's it in here, Robbie. When you're done, you want to make sure you push these locks back down. All right, once you're done with that, you're gonna come up top. All right, this is where you fill your fuel at, right in here. You want to check it, make sure that it's full. All right, over in here, this is where you fill your hydraulic at. Be careful where you step in here. Normally I'd have one door closed, but I don't want to get in Robbie's way. So once again, wipe it off. Push it in all the way. Pull it back out. You want it full. While you're in here, check all your hoses out. Make sure nothing's broken or leaking. Check your electrical fittings. Right in here is where your batteries are. Check your batteries out. Make sure you don't see any battery acid on the top or anything like that. All right, once you're done with that, you'll close this back up. Those guards hold that up. Make sure you always use these instead of trying to hold it up while you're checking everything. All right, right in here. Most of the time you won't need a mess in here, but check it out. Make sure everything's good. This is your fuse box. So If you ever need to check anything, always check your radiator and make sure you blow them out regular. Right in here is your coolant. You can see right here where it's supposed to be filled up to. If you can't see it on the side, you could always take the cap off and check down in there. Never take this cap off if the machine's hot though. All right, at this point, you'll be able to fire it up. So you'll turn the key on. Oh, we forgot one very important step. Right in here, it stays up. Right in here, you'll have the master shut off. Always make sure that's on. All right, you'll fire it up. All right, this is where you can check your depth fluid and your fuel level. All right, now while you're waiting and finishing the rest of your pre-trip, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna turn on your screed heaters. All right, you wanna go in here to the settings. Temperature, you always want it about 266. That's 266 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't need to have it all the way up. There's no need for it. Then you turn it on. You'll hear the generator kick on. That means your screen gets heated. So, Robbie, right up in here, you want to show me the screen? Right in here, you'll see these. Green means they're up to temperature. All right? But if you click on them, you can see what temperature they're at. So that's at 105 degrees, that's at 96. This side is 99 and 106. So they're warming up already. You can access that from the bottom panels on the screed as well. All right. Robbie, once you're done. All right. One thing you're going to want to do now is go around the whole machine and check everything out. Make sure everything's working properly. You're going to want to check out the screen. You're going to want to make sure it's in pave mode. Here, Robbie, let me see that quick. You're going to want to make sure it's in pave mode when you're doing this. So, pave mode is going to be right here. You're going to want to come in here and hit this button. When you hit this button, it's going to light that up green. Once that's lit up green, you're in pave mode. All right, now I'm going to give you back to Robbie. All right, so you want to make sure that this slides in and out. All right, take it all the way out. While this is all the way out, you can check these hydraulic lines. Make sure nothing's leaking. Make sure the pins are in there tight. There's no loose bolts in here. Check all this stuff out. Same in here. Check all these electrical wires out. Make sure everything's tight and secure. Check everything all the way through. When you come in here, make sure no one closes this while you're in here. Check all your augers. Make sure everything's tight and make sure there's nothing loose. Check in here. Check these hydraulic lines. Check here. Make sure you don't see any hydraulic oil leaking. Check all these bolts over, electrical lines. All right, once you check all that, you come out here. You check that your augers are spinning. All right, then you check your conveyors. Make sure they're coming back. All right. Then you're going to come up in here. You got to check this. Make sure that that's not too loose or too tight. That's pretty good. All right. Open this up. Check all these lines. Check over everything. Make sure nothing's leaking. Go to the other side. Slide this out. It's real important while you're doing this that you make sure that no one's touching anything that could jam you up or squeeze you in the pinch area. Check all these hydraulic lines, all these bolts. Same thing you did on the other side, you're going to do over here. Make sure everything's working. Alright, now let's double check that it's all working. Check your extension slide. Make sure that goes in and out with no issues. Water separator. This is your dam. Check all this out. Make sure nothing's leaking anywhere. Check all these lines. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go up and I'm going to fold the hopper up. So I'm going to put it in auto so it goes up on its own. I'm going to hit that button. That's going to pull the front up. And then I'm going to hit the two sides. It's going to take everything up. Now we'll go back to the bottom. Get your entrance up to stay around. Getting soaked from water. Rainwater that went into the exhaust. You're checking these lines right here. Make sure nothing's leaking or broken down in there. This gives you a chance to check these grease lines that run through there. They're on the other side, so